Title: Resilience in the Face of Adversity, Navigating Withdrawal Syndrome and Staying Focused. Good day, everyone. I want you to imagine something with me for a moment. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast, open road. You've walked this road for quite some time, each step deliberate, fueled by your goals, by the vision you've carried within you for so long. But suddenly, without warning, the ground beneath your feet begins to feel heavy, as if each step requires twice the effort. Your spirit is still willing, but your body feels drained. That feeling. That's what we call withdrawal syndrome. Now, withdrawal syndrome can take many forms. It can be the physical toll of recovery, the emotional exhaustion of burnout, or simply that quiet, lingering fatigue that starts to creep into your daily life. And today, I want to talk about how we navigate through that, not just how we survive it, but how we thrive in the midst of it. Because resilience isn't about avoiding the storm, it's about learning how to stand firm in the middle of it. Part 1: Embrace the struggle. The first thing I need you to hear is this: it's okay to struggle. I want you to give yourself permission to feel that weight, to acknowledge the tiredness that gnaws at you. We live in a world that often tells us to be strong, to push through without acknowledging the pain. But I believe that true strength comes from being vulnerable enough to say, this is hard. The battle you're facing. It's not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional. And acknowledging that is the first step toward overcoming it. Don't shy away from the struggle. Embrace it. Because every battle you face is shaping you, molding you into the person you are becoming. Part 2: Reconnect with your why. But what do we do when the struggle feels like it's overwhelming our sense of purpose? When the passion that once burned bright feels like it's flickering? In those moments, I want you to take a step back and reconnect with your why. Why did you start this journey? What was the dream, the mission, the reason you embarked on this path in the first place? Think of your why as a lighthouse. It's that guiding light that remains constant, even when the waves of life feel rough and turbulent. Whenever you find yourself questioning your path, return to that lighthouse. It will remind you of the purpose that fuels you and will reignite that passion. Let me tell you a story about a man who embarked on a great voyage across the seas. His ship was strong, his destination clear. But halfway through his journey, he encountered a terrible storm. The wind whipped violently, the waves crashed over the deck, and his ship began to drift. In that moment, he could have easily given up. But he remembered his destination, the reason he set sail. And that memory gave him the strength to keep going. Your why is your destination. No matter how fierce the storm, when you reconnect with your purpose, you find the strength to persevere. Part 3: Reassess and adjust. But let's talk about the journey itself. Sometimes, we set out on this path with a very specific plan. We have our steps laid out, and we're convinced that if we just follow the plan, we'll reach our destination. But life is rarely that predictable, isn't it? In moments of doubt, I encourage you to take a step back and reassess your goals. This doesn't mean abandoning them, it means looking at them with fresh eyes. Maybe the path you've been walking isn't the most effective one. Maybe circumstances have changed. And that's okay. Flexibility in your approach doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're smart enough to adapt. Think of it like a hiker climbing a mountain. Sometimes the trail ahead is blocked by fallen rocks or a sudden storm. The hiker could stubbornly try to forge ahead, but a wise hiker knows when to change course. Adjusting your route doesn't mean you've abandoned the summit. It just means you've found a better way to get there. Part 4: Seek support and fresh perspectives. There's another aspect to this journey that often gets overlooked. You don't have to walk it alone. Life is not a solitary pursuit. When the road feels unclear, and you're unsure of the next step, don't be afraid to reach out for support. There's no shame in seeking advice, in asking for a helping hand. In fact, some of the most significant breakthroughs in our lives come from the wisdom and encouragement of others. When you feel like you're staring at a puzzle with missing pieces, sometimes all it takes is a fresh perspective, a different pair of eyes, to help you see the solution that was there all along. Maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's even a stranger who has walked a similar path. But whatever it is, remember you don't have to figure it all out on your own. Part 5. Break down your goals. Here's another truth I've learned along the way. Sometimes the problem isn't the size of the goal, but the size of the steps we're trying to take toward it. When the daily grind starts to feel like it's too much, that's when you need to break down your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. Imagine you're standing at the base of a mountain, looking up at the peak. If all you focus on is how far you have to climb, it can feel paralyzing. But if you break the climb into small steps, each one taking you just a bit higher, the journey feels more manageable. And each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the summit. Celebrate those small victories. Let them serve as reminders that you're making progress, even when the climb feels slow. Because every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. Part 6. The power of persistence. And now, I want to talk to you about the single most important ingredient in this entire process, persistence. Persistence is not about speed. It's about consistency. It's about waking up every day, even on the hard days, and deciding to move forward. There will be days when it feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill, and you might wonder if it's even worth the effort. On those days, I want you to remember something. Success doesn't come from grand gestures. It comes from the quiet, steady persistence of showing up, day after day. Persistence isn't glamorous. It doesn't make headlines. But it's the quiet force that drives all success. Trust the process, even when it feels slow. Trust that every step you take is moving you closer to your goal, even when the progress isn't immediately visible. Because here's the thing, it's not about how fast you're moving. It's about the fact that you're still moving. Conclusion: celebrating the journey. In conclusion, resilience is not about avoiding struggle. It's about embracing it. It's about recognizing that the challenges you face are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. And each step forward, no matter how difficult, is a step toward growth. So, as you continue on your journey, remember to reconnect with your purpose. Be flexible in your approach. Seek support when you need it. Break down your goals into manageable steps. And above all, stay persistent. Because every step forward is a victory worth celebrating. Thank you for being with me today. Stay resilient, stay focused, and keep moving forward.